Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fallacious Truth here. It's getting to be the end of March here, and the media, the female population, absolutely everyone makes sure that men know that in March is National Women's Day. And quite honestly, it's National Women's Month. It's far more than a day because you hear about it all month long, and quite honestly, long thereafter as well. No, I'm not knocking it. I don't have a problem with it. If women need another day to feel validated and need another day for everybody to look upon them and tell them how great they are, that's fine. I mean, it's nothing out of the norm and it doesn't negatively affect me or anybody else. I mean, it just is. So while men everywhere are essentially coerced and forced into saying how great women are, no matter who the woman is, no matter what they have or haven't done, if you dare speak out against it, if you say anything against it, or not even anything against it, if you say anything that is slightly in the negative or even neutral. I mean, if you give off the impression of, okay, it's just another day. The hatred and vitriol you will receive from women and other feminized men who simply want a pat on the back and are looking a virtue signal is absolutely appalling. I mean, how dare someone, least of all a man, not agree to a national day where we are forced once again to praise women? Now, like I said, I don't really care one way or the other. I'm one of the ones that's neutral about it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's just another day. You may think otherwise, and that's fine. As I've said before, you do you. It doesn't really matter to me. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but not everybody believes that everyone's entitled to their own opinion unless said opinion agrees or lines up with them. So with that being said, I just did a quick search around, the social media sites to see what people have to say positive and negative about National Women's Day. And I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I quite honestly didn't find a single thing negative that someone posted about National Women's Day, which is, like I said earlier, really National Women's Month. I mean, there are countless videos of everybody praising women, and be damned if anybody says anything to the contrary. With that being said, I just for shits and giggles decided to Google search International Men's Day just to see if there was one. And lo and behold, there is actually a National Men's Day, and it's in November. I had absolutely no idea, and quite honestly, I'm wondering how many other men have absolutely no idea that there's a National Men's Day. I mean, the fact that National Men's Day isn't praised all month long, isn't in the news all month long, isn't forced upon children in schools, isn't forced on teenagers and young adults at college. I mean, National Men's Day isn't forced down the throats of anyone anywhere, to the point where I would imagine a large part of the population has no idea there is even such a thing. So remember how I said earlier that if you search National Women's Day, you can't find anything negative whatsoever on the subject. Now, just for the converse here, I did a search on National Men's Day on the same platforms, the same media sites, the same everywhere, or the same thing everywhere. And the very first thing that came up, specifically on TikTok, was this. The fucking what the fuck? Now, I honestly don't know if this was meant as a joke or if I mean, just look at that. I mean, she's got to be serious. Who does that? I mean, that's just ridiculous. And quite honestly, the further you scroll down, the more and more stuff you see like this. Not necessarily that bad, not that ridiculous and dramatic, but the overall tone from women with regards to International Men's Day is either A, what do we need them for? B, every day is International Men's Day. Or C, since we can do everything that men can do, what do we need them for? Now, while A and B are self-explanatory, there's really no reason to go into them. C, I don't think is self-explanatory, and here's why. Now, I've said many, many times before that men built this world, and you women really simply reside in it. There are precious few that have made revolutionary impacts that we all as a society utilize on a daily basis. And you know what? Let's not look globally for this. Let's not look into what has been achieved on a global level that positively impacts the lives of citizens, of people everywhere on a daily basis. Let's look at the everyday things that all you women take for granted, that are built, that are maintained, that were designed, created, and produced by men. Let's look at these industries that you utilize on a daily basis, that exist for your convenience, that enrich and enhance your life, that you take advantage of and you piss away on a daily basis. So let's look at the automotive industry first. Vehicle technicians, the mechanics, the electricians for the vehicles. In 2021, for every 200 women that do this job, there are 24,459 men that take care of, that fix, that maintain your vehicles. In other words, less than 1% of women build, fix, and maintain your automotive vehicles. It's 0.81% of women do this. Let's take the woodworking industry, the carpentry industry. For every 2,399 women that perform this job, that do anything with carpentry, there are 480,604 men who perform this job and who make it so the products you utilize on a daily basis that are made out of wood are made properly, are made at all. In other words, again, less than 1% of women are willing to do this job. It's 0.99%, just under 1%. Let's take a look at something else we all utilize on a daily basis. We're talking electricians, just simply keeping the lights on, getting the lights on. For every 4,177 women that perform this job, there are 236,820 men, or 98.27% of men that take care of this for you. That's less than 2% of women that are willing to do this job. Let's take a look at metal workers. Let's take a look at welders, those who work with steel, those who build buildings, who do anything with structures that physically get in there, that build, weld, and maintain the steel that's used in damn near everything that you utilize. 98.07% of those performing this task, they're men, with a mere 1.93% of women, that's 3,594 women, performed this task or did this task in 2001. Under 2%. Do you see where I'm going with this yet? Everything that you do, everything that you utilize on a daily basis, every modern convenience, every modern everything that you have is designed, is built, and is maintained by men. Let's take a look at the goods and the services that you buy at a daily basis simply by going to the store. They don't get to that store by magic. They get to the store with truck drivers. And for every 2,857 women that are driving trucks, there are 108,231 men driving trucks. The ability for you to go to the store just to buy things that you take for granted on a daily basis would not exist if it were not for men doing it. How about the engineers of society? For every 2,735 engineers that are women, there are 38,681 engineers that are men. These are the people that engineer. These are the people that design and make things in society that you utilize. The point here is everything that you do, everything that you use, everything that you take for granted, everything that you need that has become a necessity over time, that is used on a daily basis, is by and large made and provided to you via the labor of a man. Yet you women everywhere treat men with such vitriol and disrespect, it's unbelievable. And to make matters worse, you're encouraged by society to do it. So there will also always be exceptions to the rule. You can always find an exception to the rule everywhere, anywhere. You'll always find someone who's willing or is good at doing something that goes against the norm. But the exception doesn't make the rule here. The exception never makes the rule. And the unequivocal fact of the matter is the modern conveniences in your life that exist today would not be there were for it not the labor, the sweat, the blood, and perhaps the tears of a man. I think it's about time you stopped taking advantage of that fact, started acknowledging that fact, and thank the men around you. In fact, why don't you start by thanking your fathers and your grandfathers? Because they are part of the framework that laid the foundations for what you have today. So right now, I know there's those of you out there who are thinking to yourself, but hey, you just said yourself right there that there are those women who are able to do the job, that there's women who are willing to do the job. And well, yeah, there are. There are very few of them. And I would argue that a lot of the women that do these jobs aren't necessarily doing them because they like it. I would argue that they're doing it, not all of them, but I would argue that a lot of them are doing it because they feel obligated, because they've been pressured to do it. And here's why I believe that. You see, the most egalitarian of societies, they're the Nordic countries. Instead of saying that women should be doing this, that women should be going into a STEM field, or women should be doing metalworking, or should be doing something that, historically speaking, they would choose not to do. They simply say, hey, women, do what you want, men, do what you want. And you know what? What was proven there, which rings true for everywhere, is that women largely go to the humanities and men largely go to things. They largely go to fields where they are physically doing something where it is mentally stressful and physically challenging. Women, by and large, don't go to these fields, and it was proven unequivocally with the Nordic countries. So don't for a moment think to yourself that women would have ponied up and done this, because we've proven both there and here that that's not true. And this isn't even referring to the men who invented and created damn near everything that you utilize as well. Not even build it currently and maintain it today, but invented it as a whole. Inventors everywhere are by and large men. It's about time that you stop taking men for granted and stopped treating them with such vitriol and disrespect. With the entitlement and holier-than-thou attitudes of women today, how you conduct yourselves is absolutely abhorrent. It's about time you take a step back, realize and appreciate where everything you use comes from. Well, that about wraps things up for today. Thank you once again for joining me for The Fallacious Truth. As always, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll have another episode out in about 12 to 24 hours again. So thank you much, take care, and have a good day.